On 1 October 1997, ARCO dismissed its entire blue-collar workforce, 302 miners, and put the mine on care and maintenance. The workers immediately commenced a campaign to regain their jobs. A picket line was established outside the mine on the day of the dismissal. This was to become the longest lasting picket in the history of Australia's black coal industry.
Well done, Ron.
Meanwhile, the union commenced unfair dismissal proceedings in the Industrial Tribunal in Brisbane. These were to be the largest unfair dismissal proceedings in the history of the tribunal.
Dave and his pregnant fiancée Leanne were about to move from company-owned units to a company house when Gordonstone sacked him and 300 of his workmates.
We tried to pay what we were paying before we were sacked, subsidised housing. They won't accept that.
Workers in company homes had enjoyed assisted rent, but after dismissal the cost rose from $30 a week to more than $200. Some accepted transitional payments from the company and moved, but 40 workers refused to pay the increased charges, claiming work entitlements should remain because they should never have been sacked in the first place.
It's the rent that was agreed to. It's not the fact that we went for cheap rent, it's the rent that was agreed to in the enterprise agreement.
Today, a small claims tribunal dealt Gordonstone managers another blow, giving the sacked miners a 7-week reprieve on eviction, invalidating their claims to subsidised rent.
You don't get me, I'm part of the union.
But the former workers say what they really want are their jobs back.
Work is what we want. I mean, that's what we're fighting for our jobs.
That hinges on a crucial Industrial Commission hearing next week, where Gordonstone will seek permission to hire a new workforce outside of their 300 former employees. If the company fails, the mine will remain closed indefinitely, once again leaving one of the world's best coal reserves in limbo.
1 month after the dismissals, the mine announced that it would start mining again using its white-collar workforce. The union commenced proceedings before the Industrial Commission for orders that should the mine reopen, then the blue-collar workers should be given their jobs back.
There's been a deadline put down for the day for people to apply for extensions to stay in their houses. That closes today. They sent the letter yesterday to say that had to be in by today. I certainly don't think that that is any coincidence that it's today that is the deadline. We've got our unfair or unlawful dismissal cases going in front of the Industrial Relations Commission today. Our advice to all members is to apply for informal extension through the company. We've also got some legal positions being put in as well.
The thing about this dispute is it's a dispute not just about their rights as workers, it's a dispute about their rights as tenants and their rights as homeowners as well. And so all of those legal issues are going to cut across one another, making it very complex legally.
Why won't you meet with the miners, Borbridge? Shame on you, Borbridge! Shame on you!
We've been trying for the last fortnight we contacted the Premier's department to see if he'd meet a small delegation of 4, one of the Women's Auxiliary, 2 of the delegates and myself, to meet with him just to let him know the problems in the town. After the ARCO sacked all its workforce, we got notified probably at the 12th hour last night that he was unavailable to meet with us.
On 9 December, the Commission made an interim order requiring the company to give any jobs available at the mine to the dismissed workers.
See that car?
Yeah, I can see the bloke in the bushes.
This was the first order of its kind under the new industrial laws. The company appealed the order, but failed. The company then refused to reopen the mine. The Commission also heard the union's case under the unfair dismissal law.
You get the number plate?
174DNX.
We'll turn your lights off and we'll go and set up the road. Well, fuck off up
right up the bloody road.
Turn the lights off then. We can do this all night, guys. I don't care. All right?
We ran the first mass unfair dismissal case under the laws, and that case was run before Commissioner Hingley. At the same time, we ran a special, an exceptional matters case, and we ran that before Commissioner Hodder. What we asked Commissioner Hodder to do was make an order that if any retrenchments were to occur, that they were to occur on seniority, and that if any employment was to occur, that that would occur on seniority, giving preference to the employees who'd been dismissed. We achieved an interim order from Commissioner Hodder, and we're in good stead at that point. We went through the unfair dismissal case. We ran 5 test cases, and we were successful there. And so we couldn't get reinstatement orders because what they'd done on the 1st of October is they'd closed the mine. They'd put it on care and maintenance. So there couldn't be a reinstatement in circumstances where there were no jobs, was what the Commission said. But compensation had to be paid, and the workers were entitled to be compensated for the unfair dismissal.
On the 2nd of February 1998, the Commission found that the dismissals had been unfair and ordered the company to pay compensation. The company entered into discussions with the union and agreed to pay $4.65 million to the workers. The order to re-employ the workers once the mine opened remained in place, so the union agreed that the picket line would be removed.
Very abusive to our resident wankers.
Fucking bullshit, Waxy. Fuck off.
And here we have Graham. He's just finished tidying the place up for our soon-to-be cited Board of Management, who we've finally got him out the picket line.
Politicians getting sacked, they're making the same amount of pay we are, and they get sued for $360,000. What's wrong with us getting $360,000?
Good point, Seth. Anyone else want to make a point while we're here? Asking about. Come on, must be one of you.
Wow, ARCO should be made to obey Australian laws. They disregard courts. They're a law unto themselves. They hire the thugs, and they're assholes.
They should have a war like they did have around China, Canada.
We've done them in
so
a war.
The Yanks can't come through.
They sent 10,000 troops up to Canada to teach them a lesson. They ended up surrendering to 1,000.
Oh, somebody said, Stewart, you're not to take the kids down to see the bloody security again. And you got to tell them, brown eye them.
Over the line.
And they said, and I said, why? I said, well, we've got bloody pictures of the kids' brown eye. I said, those kids are under 17. That's pornographic. Old Stumpy said, that's right, I'll get straight back on to them. So you can't take pictures of kids under 17.
Okay, fellas, before I read the poem to you, the great shearers' strike in 1890-91, there was a garrison of men stood out here at Gordonstone, and there's a picket line set up because they tried to cut their bloody conditions and wages, so they didn't like what they were copping, so they set up a picket line. And it was right about here, actually. They used the Blue Vale waterhole. I read a bit of history about it. And anyway, what the cockies did in days, and with support of the government, Tory government, they brought a heap of troopers up, police and troopers, and they deputised people from the land, much the same as I suppose the national farmers are doing now to the MUA, like offering scabs to get in and do their job. So they're done the same thing. They brought shearers up from Victoria. They had 600 coppers camped at Capella, and